So Pivot's really easy to use. To get started, you create a new document. It will give you a figure. The orange dot lets you move your figure around. The red dots let you move the limbs. And this button over here, or the space bar, will add a frame. So if you click on that, that will be your first frame. If you want to delete frames, you can either right click and press delete, or you can, if I add it again, use this button up here when it's selected. Okay, so if I want to start my animation with my figure down in the bottom left, just move him down and add a frame. I might then want to move him along as though he's walking, in which case start moving the legs and arms. And I'll add another frame, move him along again, make my changes, add another frame, and done that in a different order, but move him along again, change again, add a frame, and final one. Up. There we go, add a frame. So I've got my 5 frames up the top here, which you can click back on and change, or you can hit play and see that that's your figure walking. So a feature that is now available on version 5 of Pivot is the in-between. So you may not have used that before. That adds frames between your frames to smoothly join them together. So I'll give you an example here. You can either use this little number here with the arrows, or you can use these little green sliders between the frames. So if I add 2 frames between each of my frames by doing this, and then I press play, you'll see it slows down and smooths out a bit. So have a play around with that if you haven't used it before. The other thing is backgrounds. So you can't add a background until you've loaded one. So you go to File and you can either load a background image or set a background color, which is another new feature. So if you set the background color, you can either choose a solid color and add that, or you can use a linear gradient where you pick your 2 colors that blend together. So I might make that one lighter. Oops, gradient. That will delete the other one if you haven't got it on any frames. Now you'll see that I've only added that to my first frame. If you need to add it to all of your frames, you can hold Shift and select all of those, and then click on background and gradient, double click, and then just click once up here on one of the frames, and it will ask you set all selected frames to this background, and you click yes. So don't stress if you haven't done your background straight away. And now you can see that's applied there. Some other handy shortcuts if you want to grow your figure. So if I say I want to make him fly up here and grow, I hold my Alt button and I can expand him like this, and then I can add a frame. So if I press play now, he'll just sort of really quickly appear big. But this is where the tweening is really handy. So if I stop that and I slide this up to add quite a few frames in between, and then I press play, you'll see that he slowly grows as he floats up. So have a play with tweening. That is really useful. And the last thing I will show you is, so if you want to duplicate frames and put them in a row, I'll show you on the first one. So if you want to duplicate this, press on the copy, and instead of using this paste button, right click and paste insert. And you can do that a few times. That would then, sorry if I play from the beginning, you'll see he stands still at the beginning now for a few frames. So that's good sometimes to just let the viewer's eye kind of figure out what's going on before going straight into action.